Live!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. It is our first Sunday show, which is going to be a new thing we're going to do, and we're going to use it right now to talk about the DCU TV shows. Maybe I might bitch about some DC movie crap, too, because I tend to like to do that in general. And just so forewarning, there will be spoilers ahead for Arrow, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl, and probably Gotham, because screw it, Gotham may not be on the CW, but it is a DC Universe TV show. Please ignore the don-donks that are going on over here in the corner. Oopsie, I might want to mute the computer. Forgot to mute the computer. All right, now the computer's muted. So hopefully tonight will be one of the first shows in several weeks where we have no technical difficulties. We're going to keep our fingers crossed for that. That I don't have wood to knock on. Oh wait, yes I do. There we go. Solid wood bookshelf over here next to me. They're nice bookshelves too. Okay. So probably best to start out with, I'm just gonna start it with Arrow, because we're not really gonna talk much about Arrow because both of us are a little behind on Arrow. I think, Sammy, you're 2 seasons behind.
A little. I'm a little bit 2 seasons behind.
I'm like 4 episodes into last season, so I'm a little behind. It's slow going for me because, yeah, I sleep a lot lately. But in general, like stuff I've read online, I'm going to base it off a lot of stuff I've read online. Last season of Arrow really became like the Felicity show, and apparently a lot of fans were like upset about that. And I'm like,
she's the best one.
I know, she's like the least moody. Oh my god, my life is so horrible. I have to dress up as a superhero and run around in the night and kill everybody. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. Oliver, Thea, Laurel, Sarah, get over yourselves.
Sarah's working on that by punching people in bars all through history.
Yeah, Sarah, we'll get on the subject of them not being able to go into bars.
Or a pillow for their spaceship.
But yeah, I'll take Sarah off that list because, you know, she kind of has a reason to be so moody and depressive and like I want to punch these characters in the faces sometimes. Oh my gosh.
Well, the reason why I stopped keeping up with Arrow was because it was so broody. Like, I like a little broody, but you can't have every character being broody.
We have more than one happy-go-lucky character because that's what Felicity brings to the show. She brings that happy-go-lucky attitude that I'm always pretty much happy about everything. And I'm sorry, you know, yeah, I get it. She got shot last season. She was paralyzed for a short time last season, but she still didn't seem to get like all down in the dirt about it. Yeah, she broke off her engagement to Oliver, but I'm sorry, yeah, I would have probably done the same thing too.
Probably. He's too... I don't know. I got really, really tired. I've said it before. I got really tired of the Ra's al Ghul storyline. Like, it would have worked better as a half season.
Mm-hmm.
They kept making the same stupid mistakes over and over again, and after that, I'm just like, Oliver, I don't care about you anymore. Like,
exactly. It's like, you know, he goes to Nandapura. I think I said that wrong, so please don't kill me, fans. And he's like, oh, I'm gonna fight you, and then he dies and falls off a cliff, and oh god, Oliver's dead. Oh wait, no, he's not. He's been rescued by these Chinese, and I'm so sick of the flashbacks. I am so sick of flashbacks. How many more times can Oliver end up back on that fucking island?
Well, the flashbacks were great for about 2, maybe 2.5 seasons, but now they're just like, it's severely stressing credibility because half the time he was on the island now, he wasn't even actually on the island.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like, oh, well, he was on the island this whole time, and then, oh, look, there's bad guys on the island, and he has to defeat the bad guys. And then, oh, he defeated this level of bad guy, next level, third level. So what, are we getting the boss level on the island this season? Because they said the flashbacks were ending this season, that we have caught up with Oliver's story this season.
That would be awesome. I wonder if they're gonna do something else like Lost did. They're gonna start flashing forward.
Oliver somehow magically bends up back out on the island in the future.
Hey, you know the way that there's a whole show about time travel, and the way the Flash keeps messing up the timeline. They could flash sideways or forwards, and it would be consistent in the universe.
Very true. They could. And the main big thing is why I want to catch up on the Arrows so much is because I want to see how much Flash changing the past and then going back and changing it again has affected Arrow.
Yeah, well, in the one episode of Flash, they said that everything looks the same except for Diggle has a son instead of a daughter.
Yeah,
apparently,
that's like the only noticeable thing so far. Yeah.
Changing the past changed his sperm.
So apparently changing the past gave us the 2046 version of Star City.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what happened there. He basically made the 2046 version of Star City a reality. Because originally Rip said in Legends that was an alternate timeline.
Oh, so he made it real.
Yeah. Okay, I'm like, I hear my cat, and I'm like, where the hell are you? And I look, he's like right behind me on the floor.
Talking you. That was potentially really stupid, Barry.
Because it like basically means everybody is dead except for like Felicity and Oliver.
I am glad that he stopped trying to fix things, at least for now, because twice in two really just kept messing things up.
Yeah, all I have to say for the Flash and his time traveling shit, if he fucking time travels away his and Iris's fucking kisses again, I'm gonna fucking punch something.
Again.
Because it's like every time the two of them admitted they love each other, he erases it somehow.
At least he did admit that that's aggravating.
Yeah, that's true. Like, damn it, why does this always gotta get erased?
Do you remember that show 7 Days?
Mm-hmm.
I just kept thinking of that, where every time Frank and Olga had any progress in the relationship, he would have to go back a week, and it would not happen the second time around.
Yes.
About with Barry and Iris, and I was like, I can't take several years of this happening multiple times.
Oh my god, I'm gonna punch somebody. If he ever manages to erase their relationship again, then I might just throw in the towel with Flash, because I cannot stand those will they, won't they relationship storylines.
They are kind of especially clunky in the Flash, but the rest of the show has gotten better. Like, this season is much tighter. It
is, and I feel all sorts of pain for Wally West, because like obviously he wants to be a superhero, but he still hasn't gotten the powers as far as we know yet.
I'm like super scared that he's gonna go to alchemy and there's gonna be some major like price to pay to get those powers, because so far the only people that we know of who has them is
because it was what's his name, the rival. Oh my god, what kind of fucking nickname is that? The Rival.
Good one.
And then we had Magenta, and I just felt nothing but bad for her.
Oh, I wanted them to keep her, but I guess she is a 14 or whatever and needed a proper house.
Yeah, a proper home. Joe could have taken her on. He likes taking on wayward children.
It's true. He's already taken on so many. It can be Whatever his last name is, home for wayward mutants.
Yes, metahumans, not mutants. Get it right.
For wayward metahumans.
This is like the best stuff ever, I swear to God. I'm trying to figure out where the camera is. This stuff is like the best stuff ever.
Cherry seltzer soda?
It's so good. It tastes like real cherries.
That's amazing. Those things always taste like cough syrup to me.
I just wish it was like a bigger bottle. Like this big.
Like this big.
Yeah. So yeah, with like I said with Arrow, they need to lighten the tone. I get it that the Arrow is the darker show of the series, but they need to lighten the tone, give us some humor like they've given us in Supergirl, Legends, and Flash. There just needs to be some humor there because it's just so dark and broody.
Show there was goodness. There was like fun side characters. There was moments that were not like I'm gonna brood myself to death.
It's like, oh my God, stop. Oliver, life isn't that horrible. Like I absolutely love. Go ahead.
Politics, I care even less. Like,
yeah, I know. Like, oh, he's the mayor now. Can we just go to Earth 2 where Leonard Snart is the mayor? I'd prefer that.
that'd be cool.
Oh my God,
It has a much better aesthetic.
Yes, they do. I like their aesthetic much better.
I want a whole show with current Welles and Jessie Quick in Earth 2. Give me that spinoff.
Yes, like just give us a show about Harrison Wells and Jessie Quick, and you know Wentworth Miller can guest star on there and be the mayor. I need this. Please give this to me, CW.
I needs it.
Yes.
They've got to just keep doing the spin-offs basically every year until the bubble bursts and nobody cares anymore, so they may as well give it to us.
They can also give us Constantine back, you know? Stop teasing us and just give it to us.
Put it on this channel where it belonged to begin with.
Right? Like Supergirl. The only problem with that is I think a lot of the actors have like moved on to new roles and stuff.
Yeah, it's been too long. Television cycle, that's like a decade.
Yeah. So there have been shows that have like vanished for years and come back for another season and done well.
That's true, but it's rare. And it usually involves some sort of widgeting, like X-Files with 6 episodes and Doctor Who recast everybody.
Yeah, and then was it 24's gone away and come back several times.
Yeah. They've kind of got a gimmick though, like it all just is the 24 hours, so they can come back at any point.
Yeah, so if they were to do Constantine, the window is closing. It's very, very narrow right now. They have very much time left to get a new season going.
It would be fun though. I only saw 3 or 4 episodes, but I liked the ones I saw.
I watched a couple episodes of Arrow this last week, and Constantine showed up in Arrow, and I was like, oh, okay, wait, I thought you were on another channel.
When that happened, I wasn't watching Arrow at the time, and I also wasn't watching Constantine, so I'm part of the problem. But
yeah, I wasn't watching.
That was a big deal when that happened, and that means that he does exist in this universe, so they could bring him back at any point, even if he's just a recurring character.
Yeah, exactly.
Spin him off again into a different show on the same channel.
Right.
I'm all about the spin-offs. I'm just gonna create spin-offs every episode of our show.
Yes, Barbara insists that I tell everyone that Dominic Purcell liked her comment on Facebook and she can die happy now.
Just put a gold star next to her name on the gravestone.
That's right. She's got 1 gold star.
Her little phrase can say, Dominic Purcell liked my comment on Facebook. Mine would be something like, Aaron Stanford tweeted me back one time.
Right. Mine would be I touched Aaron Stanford. No, I take that back. Mine would be I made Christian, the wrestler from the WWE, cry. That would be mine.
What if there was like a fan cemetery where you get buried there with a digital gravestone and it just scrolls all your fan achievements like at the end of a video game?
And the more fan achievements you have, the more gold stars appear next to your name at the top.
And they just go like in Candy Crush, it'll be like bleep,
Yes, yes. Is that you, Bam? Yeah? I heard it too. I was wondering if Bam did something, but he's laying right behind me. It sounded like up here, but I don't see anything. Oh, Bam. Sorry. No, we have no idea what, and we were trying to figure out where it came from. And she's like, "It wasn't." I'm like, "No, he's right behind me."
If anybody's in your house or if there's a ghost or something, it's totally all on video so they can catch them.
Yes, walk behind me, old lady. We want you to be seen. Come see. Come talk to us.
If an old lady shows up, I'm gonna scream.
Okay, like I know this is like off topic, but like I sit downstairs sometimes and I don't have the TV on, but I'll be playing music. And there was this one time I looked up and I was looking at the TV screen and I could see her standing in the kitchen. Reflection of the TV screen. I was home alone and she was in the reflection of the TV screen. It was so creepy. Yes.
We had a little kid ghost in our house once that would leave handprints that were like the size of my palm on clean windows.
Oh my gosh, that's so creepy.
Super creepy. But we also lived in one of the top 3 contenders for most haunted city in America, so
we actually, it's really, and we'll definitely have to talk more about the ghostly activities and stuff we've experienced when we do our spoopy show next week.
True.
Right? Yeah. We should save these. I'm going to save these. I'm going to save my train story and other stories for next week when we do our spoopy Halloween special, because those are fun and interesting
so late
stories.
It's so late here. I'm going to get that spook stuff.
Yeah, I know. I live in a spoopy haunted house, so it's awesome like that. Like in the next few weeks, I'm actually going to start like decorating around me so there's like not bare walls behind me constantly.
Yeah. This is just my office junk. I want to like make it look like it's intentional.
Yeah. I want to start like setting up for. I don't think I can reach it. Wait. Yes, I can. Like, I got my cork board ready to put all my notes on for NaNoWriMo next month. So I'm ready. Book 2 is underway starting November 1st. Yes.
Man.
Okay, so
what were we talking about?
Arrow. We're back in Arrow. We're in agreement. Arrow needs to be a little less moody.
Yeah, like even if it's kind of dark, it needs to stop being like emo.
Yes, set some very spooky metahuman enemies over for Oliver to deal with, because that'd be hilarious to see Oliver have to deal with like I don't know we know Wentworth Miller is going to be on Arrow at some point, so he's going to have to deal with Captain Cold at some point, so that should be fun.
It's true. That would be fun even if the episode sucks because it's him.
Yeah, because apparently like the enemies this season are supposed to be Damien Dark, what's his name, Eobon Thrawn and Captain Cole, who just like does not fit into this mix at all based on his character in the show, but okay. Unless him
So
dying
far.
and then being brought back to life by Barry's time traveling shit changed his personality or something.
Yeah, maybe it changed his whole timeline so he never even became a legend and became a good guy.
Yeah, but then if he didn't become a legend, why was Mick on the ship still? That's the only
Yeah,
problem.
I don't know. So they're out of time and stuff doesn't affect them. Because, I mean, this week, Nate should have evaporated if his dog tags evaporated, because if his grandfather dies 10 years before his dad is born, he should have evaporated. But we're just not going to quibble because they were never super rigorous about their time travel side effects.
So, who I could bitch about his too. He had this whole huge issue with Rose touching baby self, and then 4 or 5 seasons later, we have Amy running around with younger self, you know, holding her hand and shit.
Yeah. I am so annoyed by that, though, because were a really fun thing and they never came back. It's like that episode, which was a good episode, didn't even matter.
Okay. My neighbors have a very old car and they're out there blowing the horn and it's like, ooga.
Ooga. Is it a jalopy? Are you living next door to Archie?
Right? It's like an old jalopy. It's hilarious.
So what do you think about reading off who's going to be leader of Legends of Tomorrow?
That was interesting because like as soon as they were like, oh yeah, the Professor Gray is the leader, you know, blah blah blah. Professor Stein is the leader. I'm like, no, he's not. He overthinks stuff. Like a good leader, and I was right because by the end of the episode, they were like, you think too much.
Yeah, he like froze himself out of decision making. He was really only picked because those people were from 1942 and they couldn't understand it, the oldest person not being in charge.
Yeah, that yeah. And then it was like I was surprised that they just so willingly accepted Sarah as the leader because honestly, I would have just seen them turning and going, okay, Mick's the next oldest, so he must be the leader, and Mick is the leader. Would just be hilarious as all get out. I'm sorry, I would just die if he was made leader of the team.
But there was somebody on Tumblr who was saying that maybe they'll just each take a turn and realize that it's a really sucky ass job and none of them are good at it, and then go find Rip.
Yeah,
and that would be
work.
hilarious. That would be hilarious. I would like.
I want an
$5 whole dollars for that.
I want an episode of Mick as team leader. I need this. I don't want to touch the screen, but there's like dust on the screen. I hope I didn't just kill the call.
No, it's fine. You're still here.
Okay, there we go. Okay. But yeah, Mick as leader, that would be absolutely hilarious.
I think the best part of all that is when the Justice Society automatically assumed that leader at the beginning of the episode, all the guys were like, ooh.
Because she's a woman, she can't be leader, and it's like,
we're like, you don't say that to Sarah.
No, you don't tell Sarah no. And then speaking of which, our little team has a serious problem with, you know, going to bars.
Oh man, but that's like, it needs to be their motto. If we're in a bar, we pick a fight.
Yeah, it does. It's like, in a bar, time to fight.
Put it on the side of the ship in fancy handwriting, like on the side of bombers in the 40s.
Don't go to bars.
I love that this time the bar fight started because Ray decided it was better to punch everybody to say Heil Hitler.
Oh, I know. I'm like, Ray. Oh, sweet little cinnamon roll, you, Ray.
He just couldn't do it. He couldn't even fake it undercover. It was great.
I'm like, I can't. I'm too good. I'm too good.
Literally catching in his throat. He was like coughing and his arm wouldn't come up all the way. Like
I was dying over there. I'm like, oh, Ray, you sweet little turd.
And I love that Mick is calling him haircut now.
I know, I love it. I'm like, yes.
And he calls the new guy pretty.
Yeah.
It's like even better.
Well, it's actually what's really funny about that. The first time he said pretty, I'm like, oh God, stop it, Dominic. You don't need to be channeling teabag. Stop channeling teabag.
Yeah, I'm wondering how much absolute mess they're gonna cause in the first half of the season before somebody has to like fix everything before Rip comes back.
Dudes, calm it down.
They're already like, even with Rip, they were barely getting stuff done, and mostly were just punching things and blowing stuff up all through history.
Yeah, and then now they killed the guy who came back in time to tell them don't go to 1942. So what's going to happen there now? Because does that change everything?
I think for them it won't change anything because they've already done it. But going forward from that point,
yeah,
and will be different from that point on.
Yeah, for everybody else.
Yeah, but he said to Vixen, he said time traveler, but he didn't say which one. And these are the only time travelers they know. So is she going to?
She's gonna think it was them.
Or is she gonna blame them?
I think you did this, and I'm going to kill you.
Already not super sure about them to begin with.
Yeah.
The Justice Society looked great, but they were all really boring.
Like, they barely knew what powers they did have, and when they did, it was like for a split second you couldn't even really get an idea of what their powers were.
Yeah, and like they worked so well, like they said, like Ray said, like a well-oiled machine, that there was no interesting interactions between them. They just did what they were told, and nobody questioned anything, and nobody had a different idea.
Yeah.
So maybe Rex getting speed stabbed will make them more interesting.
Yeah, maybe.
See what else do I have to say.
Sorry. People are sending me pictures.
Don't they know that you have a standing appointment that we have never done before on this night?
Oh, this is the first time. No, she didn't know I had a show tonight, and I kind of forgot to tell her because I was sleeping till 10 minutes beforehand. Yeah, really. I'm sorry. I was sick today. Just wait till February. I'm going to be a lovely mess in February.
Yeah, well.
Especially if winter's going to show up here in California way earlier than normal.
This year's supposed to be bad everywhere. Like, I was looking at the Farmer's Almanac because I'm an old lady.
Cold. It's supposed to be wet and cold here. I'm excited about that wet part. The cold part. Anything else we need to say about Legends?
There's really only been two episodes.
There's not a huge lot to say. We're in 3 episodes in on Flash and Arrow, so
yeah, we have to wait for story to start happening. They're still setting up whatever's going on this season.
Yeah, they're still setting up our bad guys, which are all coming out of the Legends storyline, but is apparently going to cross over to all 4 shows.
All of this
Yeah.
is the Legend's fault because Barry couldn't mess it all up if they hadn't killed every Time Master.
Yep, exactly. You're right. This is all Len's fault. It's all Len's fault.
Maybe that's why he's a bad guy. He was right at the center of the explosion and he took all the blame.
Well, a lot of people have this like theory that he wasn't killed, that he became a part of like the time stream, and he's able to go wherever he wants, whenever he wants now.
That would be cool.
That would be, and I would be totally down for that.
I didn't think he was dead anyway, because at the end of last season, after he died, Mick went back and gave him that feelsy man bro speech.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's so out of character, and Len is smart enough to figure out that something was happening, and as soon as they were like, let's go time traveling, like, together and have a contingency plan.
According to like almost everything I read, this was during a period when they were on the outs, they weren't working together. And all of a sudden Mick calls him out of nowhere and he's just like, you're a hero no matter what you think.
That makes it stand out even more. Like, it would stick in his head, and then when Rip is like, we're gonna go time traveling, then he would figure it out.
Yeah, he's like,
plan.
This is what we're talking about. I see. All right.
And if they don't make him that smart, I'm gonna be disappointed.
Because it's like in season 1 when him and Ray were trapped in the cell by Vandal Savage, and he's trying to undo the alarm, and Ray's like, where did you learn how to do that? And he's like, well, when I was little, my father took me on his jobs, and he's like, in another life you could have been I can't remember the term he used, but it was like something that you have to be really smart to be, and he goes, well, thank God for that it didn't happen. So yeah, I have a very, very strong belief that, you know, Leonard Snart is probably a very smart man. We know he's able to work on his own gun himself. He can't build one because obviously they had to connect Cisco to build Lisa's gun, which I think we see her use a total of 1 time.
And now we probably never will again because she's busy being Raimi.
Yeah, which is like sad because now Len doesn't have a sister.
Who's gonna avenge? Who's gonna avenge him?
Yeah, the actress
Sarah, and avenge
Laurel. Right? Actually, it's really funny. In the DC Universe fandom, a lot of people actually do ship Lisa and Sarah.
They haven't even met, though, have they?
In the shows, as far as I know, yeah.
Well, technically, you could probably ship Sarah with anybody since she seems to like about everybody.
Anybody?
But it would be weird now because she's kissed her brother.
Yeah, that would be weird. That would be really weird. Freakily weird. Yeah.
I think that's all the points that I had on Legends. Yeah, other than the fact that it's still the funnest one.
Yeah, it's still the funnest because it really feels like the characters like are just there having fun, even though like most of the time they're like, we're trying to be serious, and then you have Mick getting punched and going, that was refreshing, and I'm like, I like Mick.
So he's like taking up Snart's corner, and he's the one who's back there giving snide comments now since there's nobody else to do it.
And like somebody has to make snide comments. I'll do it. He's actually pretty good at it too. He's very sarcastic.
Yeah,
and it makes me happy.
To be the sarcastic one.
Because you know that you've got Sarah, who can be kind of cold, and then you have Ray, who's just this big golden retriever puppy. You have Professor Stein, who's just too inward thinking for his own good, and then you have Jax, who's just like the dumb kid tag along, even though I know he's not just a tag along, but you get what I'm saying.
He's also not dumb, but they don't really give him a chance to be smart. Like, he was learning all the stuff about this like super futuristic time ship technology, and he can fix anything on the ship now. He's got to be smart, at least mechanically.
Yeah, he does, because I mean, he did figure out the Wave Rider. He was the mechanic for the Wave Rider, and that's awesome in itself, because that's totally futuristic stuff that he shouldn't know anything about. I have seen
Exactly.
Like fan theory.
He figured it out quickly.
The only reason he's able to figure that stuff out is because he's connected with Professor Stein, and I'm like, I don't think that's it. I mean, he was already
and
a mechanic.
That also doesn't sit well with me, because that sounds like
racism.
Yeah. Like, the kid can't just be smart on his own. He was already a mechanic before they even found him.
He college based off his football playing. He had a full scholarship before the football thing came into effect.
Yeah.
Why? I can't remember why he said he wasn't going to go to college after he got injured. I think it was because I won't be able to play football anymore, but hello, kitty.
She's gotten like crazy affectionate since the temperature went down. She's like, love me, I'm too cold to live.
Sorry. I'll call her back. My mom's calling. She's probably watching The Walking Dead and wants to scream at me.
When we first started doing the show, my mom called 3 weeks in a row, 10 minutes after we started. I'm like, Mom.
My mom didn't actually know I was doing a show, so.
I told her after the first time, because I was like, I'm not ignoring you, I'm in the middle of something. Oh, goodness.
Okay, so we've talked about Arrow, we talked about Legends. Yes, to be, I guess, Flash, and I'm going to say it, I'm honestly happy that Harrison Wells came back.
I swear, like, one of my favorites. Every time he comes back, he's more fun. Like, this time he was so, like flipping out, waving his hands around.
All right, well, I will probably watch it later this evening. Okay. Oh, okay. My mom's excited about The Walking Dead. Which I will probably watch when this show is done here.
But yeah, like, this time when Wells came back, he was all like,
please don't shoot
like
me.
Waving his hands and screaming at people. Like, every time he comes back, he's more fun.
I don't know, like, in the first season, I was like, I really don't like you. You're a jackass. We know you're the bad guy. I knew he was the bad guy before I even went into season 1, because I sometimes will read spoilers because I can. Yeah, that's a good answer. And so I knew.
But also, like, wasn't really him. That was Abard. So
then we get him back in season 2, and I was suspicious at first, because I'm like, oh, great, they're going to have the same kind of bad guy again. And then I was really happy he wasn't, and then he became like this character I adore.
Yeah, like, when he first came over from Earth 2, he was such a dick, but he was always more fun than first season Wells, who wasn't even Wells. It was just somebody looking like Wells.
Yeah, exactly.
He's still a pompous jerk, but he values the team. It's just, when his daughter got powers, he, like, busted through universes to come talk to them about it.
I will say this, I'm like super having powers. So that means
You're what?
Some version of Killer Frost again.
She's like hiding it. I hope they don't replay Cisco's Dark Side storyline like last season.
Yeah, and then I was confused because doesn't Wells's watch go off whenever he's near metahumus? So did he just have it turned off when he was in their base so it wouldn't be going off constantly between Cisco and Barry and his daughter?
Right? Maybe he didn't think of it because there's already so many other powers around that it's like buzzing next to his arm constantly.
Yeah. It's like,
maybe it's an Apple Watch now.
Yeah, it's an Apple Watch now.
It's a pear watch since it's an alternate universe.
It's a pear watch, not Apple. Pear. You're wearing a pear. Oh, God. Pretty good slogan. But yeah, I'm happy to have Wells back. I like Jessie, and I get the idea that they're kind of trying to flirt with the idea of Jessie and Wally.
Yeah, I got that last season too, but it was like she's like, you're a super good pal.
And then, I love you. I don't love you. And now she's got powers and he doesn't, and it's like conflict. I guess this is going to be our new will they, won't they couple. So it's Barry and Iris have worked it out again for the fourth time?
Yeah.
Fourth time?
I'm fine with that because them waffling back and forth was much more irritating. And it gives Barry more of a personality when he doesn't have to spend all his time pining.
Yeah, that's true. And then I was hyped amused by the end of this last week's episode because he took her somewhere for their date. He took her out of Central Space. And then he just left her there to go save the day. And I just busted up laughing. I'm like, Barry, you could have taken her home first.
But she had dinner there, so.
That's true. She's like, I ate dinner while I waited for Barry to save the day.
I like that they didn't make it a big deal that he's the Flash because that's basically his entire life now. He has no other life.
Yeah, I know.
If she was going to be, I went on the Barry, not the Flash, like as a real thing, that would have been a really irritating storyline because she's been there the whole time. She knows what this means.
I have to ask, how long till Draco figures out he's the Flash? Till he knows that Flash. And I'm sorry, I know he has another name on the show, but he will always be Draco Malfoy to me, so my apologies, Tom Felton.
I was texting my friend about this episode, and I was like, and then not Malfoy did.
Nice. Nicely done.
I actually really like him. Like, he's a total ass. He's a total ass, but he's a likable ass. No, now he's a scientist ass, but he's like wearing 3-piece suits and stuff.
And it's the messy hair and the facial hair, which honestly does things for him. I mean, he was an man, but he's like 10 times more attractive with the scruffy, wild hair look. I like it.
It works, and it works for the character, which is even better. Like,
yes, definitely.
Pompous enough to wear a 3-piece suit, but he's not so pompous that he brushes his hair or shaves.
That's his endearing characteristic. I can't talk today. Characteristic. Is that right?
Characteristic.
There's a T in there. I knew there was a T in there. I couldn't get it.
Oh, your drugs kicking in. Is your brain going away?
They are, yeah, but I'll be okay for a little longer. We're actually almost done. We're working through Arrow or Flash now, and then we have Supergirl left, and that's only 2 episodes to talk about too, so not big. And look at this. We've been going an hour almost, and I haven't frozen yet. The tablet. Most of a laptop that's sitting here right next to me, running. Uh, eventually, I'm gonna get it fixed. I just don't have the money right now.
Right? Who does?
Hey, you random people who might not be watching, I'm doing thumbs up. You could send me money to get the laptop fixed. No, I'm kidding. I am completely and utterly kidding. Don't.
But if you want to.
I'll give you a link to a GoFundMe on my Twitter. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. This is a total. If I were to run a GoFundMe, it would be to get the money together to fly home to visit my mom, who I've not seen in almost 8 years. So, yeah. Okay. Flash. Anything else we want to talk about on Flash? I'm excited for next week's episode. I'm like really excited for, I guess, this week's episode since it's Sunday, because we get Wentworth Miller back. Yay! If y'all can't tell, he's my favorite character.
Well, he's kind of the best because of who he is.
Yeah, he's Captain Cold. I'm dying to see how they're gonna, work this out. Like, are they gonna play it that somehow somebody told Barry he died, and he's gonna be like, "But I thought you were dead," and he goes, "Well, you thought wrong," and that way that Wentworth Miller is Captain Cold, which I do sometimes, and annoys the hell out of Barbara because she can't stand it.
She doesn't like the 1930s gangster voice.
And she got so pissed off the other day because I'm watching the Flash. I was catching up on Flash, and he does the introduction when he's talking, and she's like, "God, stop taking voice acting lessons from Wentworth Miller." And I'm like, "Dude, he doesn't have that time."
Oh my gosh, though, like we have met his family. Nobody else sounds like that. That is totally Leonard Snart affectation. Somewhere along the line in foster care, he decided he was going to sound like a villain.
No! I have headphones in. I can't hear anything. Okay, apparently we have thunder going on. Hang on, I'm going to open my window. It's going to be very loud, so hold on.
Okay.
Oh, well, maybe not. Okay, that wasn't as loud as I thought it was going to be. I opened it! Must be because it's cooler, the window's not sticking as much. There's 2 windows at the front of our house in the upstairs, and when it gets really hot, it's really, really hard to open the windows.
So weird.
Like, it takes 2 people to move the window. But it's cooled off, and the window just slid right open. It's weird.
I think that this week's episode was probably one of the best written and best put together ones that I've seen of 2 seasons and 3 episodes of The Flash.
Yeah, it involved all the characters in like a believable way that was enjoyable at the same time.
And like it was super clever. Like right at the very beginning, when Barry's waiting for the clock to be the right time, he's like, "And I was just doing what I do best, thinking about Iris." And I'm like, "I've said that." Actual thing.
It's so adorable.
Yeah, like all of it was so good. And if this is the way that they're going to be running the rest of the season, I am so on board, because at the end of last season, it was getting kind of sloppy and Barry was acting dumb, like he didn't understand things. But now he's finding out that he's learning his lessons.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy for him.
Finally, like, catching on in 2 fucking years, right? We were having thunder here, and I just said to Barbara, "I did nothing. Tell Thor to stop." Oh, it's
Maybe
so nice.
he's just saying hi.
Yeah.
It's like God of Thunder texting.
God of Thunder! But, yeah, I'm totally on board if they keep the pacing they have going with these 3, that they've done with these last 3 episodes. You know, everything that they've done has come off as very believable. I'm glad Iris isn't being bitchy about, Barry having to be the Flash and all that. That makes me really happy.
Yeah, and she got over her problem with her dad, like, Genuinely, like when she realized how dumb it was, she apologized and they made up.
Yeah, that made me happy. I'm glad they were like, oh, please don't drag this feud between Iris and Joe out for the entire season. And I'm like glad Joe got over his "I'm a drunkard idiot" thing really quick too, because that was just like, what's up with you, Joe?
Yeah, that was not great.
No, but that was in the alternate timeline, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was in the first timeline. Like, for
Right
Barry to get his perfect life, everybody else had to be screwed over, apparently.
And then we have Supergirl over here in this corner. And Supergirl. I really adore Tyler Hoechlin as Superman. He is
so great. He needs a spin-off too.
Yes, we need just a Superman series, and I want to see Lois Lane because I'm highly, highly confused by her sister being obviously of a darker skin descent, while their daddy was very, very white. That was interesting. I mean, I don't have an issue with it. I'm cool with Lois and Lois and her sister being black descent or other racial descent. I just want to know more. You know, I want to know why their daddy is obviously a very. Yeah, I want to know mom. Show me mom.
I just want to see Lois and Clark being cute together.
I need a new Z, and then just for time's sakes, could we get Terry Hatcher back and like just some.
Well, I mean, they've got Dean Cain, so.
So let's get Terry Hatcher back in some role. It doesn't matter what the role is. Just bring her back and make it fun and just make fun of the old show, because that's awesome when you can do stuff like that.
I know.
Even in the Marvel movies, they have what's his name? The guy who played the Incredible Hulk in the TV series, Bill Bixby. He was a security guard in the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I need more of this nods to the old school. I need it. It makes me happy.
I do too.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say. Speaking of Dean Cain, that creepy new leader of Cadmus or whatever it's called implied that they had done something to him.
I know. I'm like, oh God, what did they do to Dean Cain? What did they do to Dean Cain? What did they do to old fat Superman?
After just turning some random dude into a kryptonite powered cyborg, she was like,
what did you do?
They did something to him too, and I'm like,
What did you do to old fat Superman? What did you do? You tell me now.
You're just Super Dad.
If we do not see Super Dad this season, I'm going to be mad. I am going to be mad because they do not need to drag this out for several seasons. It needs to be resolved this season, especially since it seems like we are messing with the people who have him now.
And he was only in like 2 or 3 episodes last season, so
most of it was
just give him his 2 episodes this season and resolve this.
Yeah, right. You know, have him show up randomly with mom once in a while, which I'm fine with.
What about this Cat Grant going on sabbatical?
No, don't leave us, Cat Grant. You are awesome.
Oh. Somebody Ninja's cuddling over there. Somebody pointed out that now that it's on CW, there's a smaller budget and they probably just can't afford her. But that kind of just makes me more sad because she was awesome and she finally got to wear she was not an ice queen 24/7.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, who was an ice queen? Something broke up there. I am completely confused all of a sudden.
Cat Grant.
Oh, yeah. I kind of wonder about that. Like, maybe they can't afford her for every episode. Yeah, that is true. I didn't think about that. And I've heard rumors that Callista Flockhart was leaving. And I guess because I don't know, she's a high-end actress. What did she do before Supergirl besides Ally McBeal?
Was a big deal in the 90s, but I don't know what she's done since then. She's been entirely off my radar.
Same.
Harrison Ford for a number of years.
Exactly. She was married. See what Ally McBeal has done since Ally McBeal. I'm such a wonderful person. I'm like Ally McBeal. That's what I know her as.
Every time I think of Ally McBeal, I just think of that episode of Futurama where the aliens came down because single female lawyer got canceled.
Yeah.
And it was basically Ally McBeal, and they had to reenact the last episode because they never got it on their planet.
I would not have known Ally Flockhart is a year younger than my mom. Not know that. Okay, she did a voice on the Penguins of Madagascar. She did a TV series called Full Circle. She's done random parts on several different shows. She did voices for Robot Chicken, another TV series called Brothers and Sisters, a couple of movies, and then Ally McBeal. She really hasn't done all that much.
Yeah. But like, this is great.
People. Ally McBeal. Yeah, I can talk. Beeble. I'm wonderful. At least, Callista Flockhart. She is a good actress, though, what I've seen her do.
I was really liking the way her character was going in this show, but maybe they'll work something out and she can come back later. Because, like, the new boss seems like boss is Jimmy, and the new seems like he's going to be fun to win over.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I do hope we get to see Cat Grant again, because it would just kind of be weird to be working for Catco without any Cat Grant.
Oh. But yay, Jimmy. How's he going to handle going from ordinary photographer to running the entire magazine?
Seriously, how did he get that kind of a promotion? Because all he was a photographer / kind of an interviewer on occasions. I got to make sure my hands are in the right spots when I do this. There we go. Because I just did this all the way over here. Where you
I mean, there's 700 people that work in that building, and we know Kara and Wynn and Jimmy, and that's about it. So who else was going to get the job?
Right? Because Lois left. Lois' sister left. I'm pissed as hell that literally Jimmy and Kira went on one date and that was it.
Yeah, I know. Her suddenly getting cold feet on everything was where is this coming from?
Right? Seriously, you have wanted him all season and now, you have him, you don't want him anymore.
Yeah, and it wasn't just that. It was also she wanted to move away, and she didn't want to live with Alex anymore, and just all this stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
All at once. And I'm so glad that Alex called her out on it, because it was being a baby.
It was. It's what? I understand you lost your last living family member except for Clark and Superman, because we don't know it's Clark Kent. Right? But
Hello?
I don't know. I'm still here. Did you lose me?
The picture went away for a second. But you're back.
Tonight too. I just waited for it to come back. But yeah, I don't know. She just had this little baby conniption of it, and now what? We have to have a whole nother season of her mooning over like Hi Chubs. My cat's right here. Yum. Hi, baby.
I hope she doesn't just suddenly start crushing on somebody else, though, because that would be really mean to Jimmy.
He obviously likes her, and he gave up what's her face, the Lane sister. I want to Lang, but I know that's not right.
No, Lana Lang is the other one.
Yeah. Oh God, there was some person online a while back. They were bitching that I think I told you about this, that they didn't have Tom Wellings playing Superman. I'm like, one, Tom Wellings is now old and fat, and two, the guy said he never wanted to put the Superman suit on.
It would have been fun stunt casting, but the way it is now is so great that I don't even mind.
Yeah, it was like the aging thing with, oh, we age slower.
Yeah.
So
honestly, this guy.
That's an interesting question, because she looks to be about what, 22, 23?
Yeah.
So how old is she for real?
Supposed to be older than him, but their ages are out of sync anyway because of her being in the Phantom Zone and him aging up.
Yeah, because he was a baby and a full-grown adult when she landed.
Yeah, but she was still 12.
Yeah.
But who knows? This guy in the lab, the other Crash.
Yeah, that I'm dying to see. Good guy? Is this a bad guy? Is this a relative of his, of Kira and Clark's? What,
Cabin Boy on Twitter thinks that he might be a Daxamite, from the same solar system, so they also lost their planet.
Oh.
But they have, they react the same to the sun, but they have different weaknesses.
Interesting.
That would be fun.
I don't see Cabin Boy post all that often anymore.
He's around. He does lots of hashtag stuff, but not so much on the TV shows, I think.
Oh, that might be why I don't think. He's more active during 12 Monkeys. Ah, crap.
All.
I know what.
Now that you've broached the subject, we can talk about Christopher Lloyd.
Oh my God, 12 Monkeys fandom. I guess we will do a little update, because I think we're pretty much done talking about Supergirl, aren't we?
Okay.
Update for 12 Monkeys, ladies and gentlemen. We have the man, the myth, the legend, Christopher Lloyd, joining us for season 3 as a major villain. So I'm super excited.
Exactly who he is, so I'm thinking that who he is not even the biggest thing, if that is the thing that's acceptable to spoil.
Right?
Right off the bat. How much more important is his storyline other than just his name and who he belongs to?
Right? I'm super excited about this, because, and I can just imagine that Terry has got to be just super stoked, because Christopher Lloyd is one of his idols.
Right? He's one of the definitive time travel people from the movie that happens to be his favorite, that he has said on multiple occasions is his favorite.
It's said on multiple it's for the show, but at the same time, it's if we're getting a big name actor in a role, an actual big name actor, somebody who's still well enough known among, even the younger generations, because this movie will always be there no matter what. Everybody will have always seen Back to the Future. And to have Christopher Lloyd stepping up and doing a role that's probably going to be multiple episodes, at least I'm hoping, because they're saying major villain. I'm really, really hoping that this is a good sign for 12 Monkeys in general, because what other sci-fi show has gotten such a big name actor on it?
I know. Like, they've got to give it at least one more season now, right? Like, this is a huge endorsement and a huge investment. He's probably expensive.
I'm sure he's not cheap, yeah.
Again, he made an indie movie with Aaron Stanford that I'm super excited to have a reunion of. So maybe sometimes he's cheap.
Maybe he's
like, yeah.
And
me and Susan, me and Ogress were talking about how we want to demand like an entire DVD special that's just Aaron Stanford and Christopher Lloyd talking about Flakes. Like, not even about 12 Monkeys, just the two of them talking about Flakes.
That would be awesome. I know, I really need to get back on Tumblr and like start talking to people on Tumblr, because I feel like I'm not being a good social media person by not being on Tumblr. It's just, I get annoyed with Tumblr really quick, and I can only be on for jumps now and again.
I love Tumblr. I get really annoyed with Twitter. Like, you can't go on a hashtag on Twitter without people screaming about stuff that has nothing to do with the hashtag, just trying to get attention.
Same.
And that pisses me off every day. I hashtag wars very often.
And then I just have to do this because I'm sorry, I'm Chicago, born and raised.
Chicago.
And we 71 freaking years, and we made it into the World Series this year. Go Cubs! I have to.
My friend has their logo tattooed on her hip, and I really need to contact her and just be like, "Woo!"
Yeah, and like I'm even wearing the Second City Saints shirt right now, so I'm supporting my home team.
Oh my goodness! Suddenly my shoulders are hurting really bad, like right here.
Okay, so we covered Arrow, we covered Legends, we covered Supergirl, we covered our 12 Monkeys update. We also covered the Cubs winning the pennant, which is like awesome as hell. I'm really happy about that. I'm sorry. I think we've covered everything. So I think
so. We're getting so efficient at talking.
It took us a little over an hour. It's 8:19 currently.
Sweet.
And we don't get off in tangents as much as we usually do. So, all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, next week's show will be our super spoopy Halloween. Next Sunday's show. I'm sorry, I got that wrong.
There's a Tuesday show before that.
Eve, yes. Okay, we have a Tuesday show coming up. Our Tuesday show will be, as usual, Designated Survivor, Frequency, Lethal Weapon, MacGyver, and Aftermath, which I'm really, really happy with the way Aftermath ended this last week. I haven't watched any of the others yet. Sorry.
I haven't watched any of them.
I gotta play some catching up tomorrow and Tuesday morning. And that will be our Tuesday show. And we will talk about those shows that night. If you have any questions or have any comments or thoughts or theories, feel free to send them to me or Sammy on Twitter. Our usernames will be below in the description. Sammy will put them there for us.
In the doobly
and the 30th. Right, let me see here. That's right.
Yeah.
The 30th. Come on, calendar. I think the computer froze. The 30th this Sunday, All Hallows Eve, will be our very spoopy Halloween special. We will discuss, among other things, Arrow, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, and Supergirl. Any other updates in the news that we think are worthy to be discussed, and spoopy stories.
And spooky stories. And I'm going to try to watch at least one Halloween movie before then.
Oh, God, I've watched like 30 in the last couple weeks, so.
I keep like falling asleep at 8 and missing everything, so I haven't watched any of the Halloween movies that have been playing all week.
Sick, so it's understandable.
Yeah.
And we will see you all on Tuesday. Bye.
Bye.
I don't know how to leave this, so you're going to have to end the broadcast.
I am waving to our one viewer. Bye.
Viewer again.
Well, we had one earlier. Hitting the button. Bye-bye.